friends, welcome back to my channel. It is time for a Project 24 samples update. I originally said that I wanted to do this at about the halfway mark, just do a couple of updates, but I looked down and I thought, well dang, I've already done more than half. It's definitely time to film an update for you guys. So essentially, I've been doing lots of different project pans, and I felt like in my first Project 20-ish pan, it was easier to do separate sample project pans from full-size items, which is why I came up with this. I have tons of samples. I both love and hate it, but let's go ahead and get started into my first update. First thing I have is this Tarte Carbon, it's like a cardboard card blush in DollFace. This thing, believe it or not, doesn't seem like it would, but it lasted me for almost a week, mostly because these blushes are so stinking pigmented that I barely had to tap my brush onto the card to get a decent amount of color on my cheeks. I like this color a lot. I won't buy it though just because I have so many other blushes. I cannot justify making another blush purchase, especially with the price tag of the Tarte blushes, but I think they're definitely good value for how much pigment you get and how little product you use and how big the actual pan is. Next up, I have a Whish body butter in pomegranate. This stuff is just okay. I don't see the big hype for Whish. It gets a lot of attention and love from Birchbox, but I just don't think the products are anything that's that outstanding. I much prefer Bath & Body Works. They're my people. That's all I have to say about that. I use this Davines Menu Hair Serum. This smelled so herbally. I could not stand it. I used it until it was gone, but I just really don't like herbally scents. They just are not my jam. I prefer the florals and the sweet scents, just not those kind. I have the, what are you called? Oh, Soap & Glory's. It may be okay if her friends are flaky, but a lady's leg should never be. This is the Lightly Whipped Body Butter Cream. This stuff is super thick. It's really nice. I really enjoyed it. I'm actually really pleased. This used to be carried just in Sephora, but Sephora will no longer be carrying Soap & Glory, mostly because Soap & Glory, much like in the UK, is looking to be more of a drugstore type brand. Right now, like for example, this type of stuff will run you easily $20, $30 at Sephora, but in the UK, it's a drugstore brand. So you're talking like what we pay here for $20 worth of product, they might pay $5, $10 for. So I very much hope that when they do make the transition to being a drugstore brand, that they also bring down their price tag, because I think they have some really great products, but I just won't personally pay for them because I think that they're very overpriced here in the States. That was a tangent. Let's keep going. I used this Get a Lift Firming Facial Cream from Pure. Nothing special, wouldn't want to go out and buy it. I used this UV Moisturizing Skin Cream. I honestly couldn't figure out if this was designed for your face or not, but because it was so thick, I was using it mostly on my elbows. I've noticed in the past month or so, I've had some like drier than normal elbows, so I was using it on that. This smells a lot like a brand of chapstick I haven't used in a while, but it's like that medicated chapstick. Wasn't my favorite scent, wasn't my favorite product, so I definitely wouldn't want to purchase it. I used up the Laura Geller Glam Lash Dramatic Volumizing Mascara. This is a pretty decent mascara. I definitely didn't hate it, but I'm more of a drugstore girl. I'm too excited. I cannot say my words properly. I just prefer the lower price tag of drugstore mascaras, and I feel like there are some really great drugstore brands, so I will not be purchasing this. I used up this Bare Minerals Lash Domination Mascara. This, at first, really intrigued me. The wand has these spiral bristles on here, but as you can sort of see, the more I used it, the goopier it got on the wand, and I'm not really a fan of that. Now, I can't tell if it's because it was the sample size, and this is the tiniest sample size I've ever had in my entire life for mascara. So I don't know if because it got so few uses, I was trying to overuse it. Let me know if the full-size wand does have that problem, because it definitely was a big turnoff for me personally with this mascara, but I liked it at first when I was first using it. I have in here what was my first Aid Beauty Facial Cleanser. I hated it. The exfoliator, again, smells super herbally, and I cannot stand it. And the exfoliator was almost like actual herbs or seeds or something. It just didn't actually break up on my face. I hated it. I ended up using it as a body exfoliator because I just couldn't keep putting it on my face. It was that terrible for me. I used up this Embryolisse Latte Cream Concentrate. This stuff is nice, and this little tiny packaging, I mean, lasted me over a week for moisturizer, which is pretty cool, but I wouldn't buy it. I'm just not willing to buy it. I don't know. I don't really know why. It's kind of strange. I have this Mercier Flawless Skin Face Polish. This is essentially a face exfoliator. I will warn you though, this is a pretty harsh exfoliator. Perhaps the harshest I've used in a long time. It was definitely effective and I didn't hate it, but it was definitely something where I think if you have sensitive skin, this is going to perhaps over exfoliate or be too abrasive for you. So I would be kind of wary of that and I wouldn't purchase it for that reason. This is the Benefit Poise Tint. I was just using this to use this puppy. It was a lip and cheek stain, and it just was, I just didn't really like it. I didn't think it was anything great. It had a funky taste, didn't really stain. I could do without it. We'll never purchase it. 2 fragrances. I have my Heavenly Dream Angels. This was pleasant, but I wouldn't buy it. And then I have my Juicy Couture Hollywood Royal, which I did very much like. But I have so many perfumes and so many body sprays that I just cannot buy anymore. So I'm just going to be enjoying my samples, but never actually using them. And then we get to my last sample, which is the Matrix Oil Wonders Indian Amla Strengthening Oil. This stuff was fine, but nothing kind of noteworthy. I think I got 2 or 3 uses out of this, which isn't really enough to tell if the oil is effective for your hair. So I wouldn't actually place it, or I wouldn't actually purchase it. All right, guys, that brings me to the end of the products that I've used. I didn't pull all the samples to show you what I have left just because they're all strategically scattered throughout my apartment for me to be able to use them. But I will say that I have 10 samples left, and I believe about 5 of them are fragrances, and I'm either almost done or halfway done all of those fragrance samples. I've been taking a week on and a week off with them because I'm also trying to make a dent in my very first Bath & Body Works body spray that I want to use up right now. So I'm kind of doing a week on and a week off, which will take longer for me to get through them. But I will definitely update you guys when I have finished the other 10 samples. I'm very happy to be doing these type of project pans along with the larger ones, and I will continue to do them as well once I finish this one up. I think they're just a really nice way to feel like I'm making progress and also cut down on all the clutter of samples. So now I'll only be getting Birchbox, BoxyCharm, and then seasonally, so aka quarterly, I'll be getting a Walmart subscription service and a Fortune Cookie soap, and I go through those 2 pretty fast each season when I get them. All right, guys, that's it for me. Let me know down below your progress with samples. If you're doing the sampled out challenge, let me know down below because I'm very curious how that is going. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.